Today, happy birthday. Your anniversary, happy anniversary. And if there's death in the family, our deepest sympathy. Yeah, that will make my sense. I ought to be in love again. Anyone who takes offense. Good morning and happy birthday to my niece, Samantha Williams in Massac, also from her dad, Robert, her siblings and son, Mackenzie, and the cousins, Andrea and Miguel. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ferrelia. Good morning. Good morning to you, Alex in Foncolay. Good morning to the Megastore. Good morning. Monday blessings to you too. Today, Monday, enjoy the simple things in life. Appreciate the good people in your life. And cherish always the precious memories, huh? Good morning to you, Hazeland, down there in Massac or Belfast. Good morning to Justina, sending birthday greetings to Diamond, Dominic, coming from his brothers Deshaun and Dante, his sister Gabriella, his mother Teresa, my dear 66 grandmother Justina, and his papa Gene. Let's take a few calls. Hello, good morning to you, yes? Morning to you, morning.
Okay?
Everything was good.
Okay, I'd like to connect you with your loving lady, Silma Hall, who was popular and who was a very loving teacher, no nonsense teacher. Like I wouldn't say who, but you know who.
Okay.
Grand birthday to Karina Nicholas. I'm here from La Plain and Bernard Darrell, Jefferson. And she was no nonsense teacher like some brain.
What pressure you getting on the brain this morning? Good morning to you, Mr. Hartley Adams. Sylvia Thomas, good morning to you there in Texas. Good morning. Have a great Monday morning, okay? She says you should read Proverbs 10. 10 verse 2. Huh? This scripture is speaking to what is happening around us in the world today. Okay? However, we who know better should take heed. Stick to what is ethical and what is righteous. Good morning on the telephone. Yes. Hello.
Also, good morning.
Morning to you, Lucille. How you doing? You sound a little better this morning. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, I am better.
Okay, good to know.
Master, I want to say a blessed good morning to you and let all of us thank God because we've seen planes every day are dropping in this state.
You're not going soon? You're not going soon?
Master, I finished it that long time ago.
Okay, Papa.
Take care.
Take care. All right, take care. All right, Dominica, 44930. Let's say I'm on the top of the world. Feeling 449309596 and 97. Let's take another phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Percy.
Morning to you. Morning.
I am smiling.
You're smiling. Okay.
Yes, why I'm smiling is that to see you see so much when your children is in misery.
Mm-hmm.
And all people say misery doesn't kill.
Okay.
Yes, and I just said misery I got to it. And I go through rough
sometimes misery, but today my children are aging together with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was one of them birthday and we have passed half a century.
Okay.
So the other one have passed half a century. One is almost racing to the century. I want to tell you, son,
Mm-hmm.
and things are much better than yesterday.
Yes,
But
sis.
I mean, everything, we have to remember those who are still struggling. So I say that misery doesn't kill.
No.
Keep on trusting God and you'll make it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Feeling the top of the world this morning? This one for you, okay? To the bus drivers this morning, good morning.
Such a feeling's coming over me.
Hello, good morning. Hello, yes.
There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is not coming true, especially for me. And the reason is
Hi, Mato. Good morning. How are you doing? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I would just like to take this opportunity to say good morning and a happy birthday to Anela Walsh down there in Baffin State. Greetings are coming from Octavia, from Francine, from Franklin, from all her family, her son Javon, everybody who loves her very much. We just wanted to know that we love her and do enjoy your day, Anela.
They really is dancing to this one, boy.
something in the wind has learned.
Good morning to you, yes. Uh-huh. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Blue?
I'm just fine and I'm up to
That's it. That's the attitude.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Man, I'm like, best in business. Happy birthday today, man.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating her 9th birthday. And greetings are coming from all her children and grandchildren. Matt, what a lovely family. Matt, what a together family. Matt, oh my God, Matt, that's just a blessed family.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Happy birthday to the family. I pray that you live to the 100, Matt. We're going to celebrate that his grandchild.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Yes, Matt.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Happy birthday, my darling Auntie Bessie.
Auntie Bessie, happy birthday.
The explanation I can find is the love that
I had to pull this one out of the cover this morning, huh?
me at the top of the world. On the top of the world. Down on creation.
Good morning to Akira. How you doing down there in Toronto? From your daddy Zacho, Carlisle John Baptist. Of course, from your siblings. Good morning, Aki. Your dad is proud of you this morning. Good morning, happy birthday. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Hello, good morning, Matu. How are you?
How you doing? How you doing this morning? How you doing?
Yes. I am good. I just love the song and would play back over.
Yes.
I would like to play it and wish everybody a blessed.
Thank you. Stay on top of the world.
Up.
Stay on top of the world.
Top of the world. Yes, I'm on top of the world this morning.
All right, my brother. Thank you. One more time. Hey, Florida with love. Good morning to you.
Such a feeling's
good morning to you, Sheila. Blessing to Diamond, Dominic, and Brandon, Peter, and Sheila, Glendale, and Glenn from Sheila, Glendale, and Glenn, HN, and Brian, Peter. Good morning to you.
And I won't be surprised if it's a dream.
Diamond, Dominic, and Brandon, Peter.
Everything I want the world to be.
Good morning to you, Randy Turney in the Browns. Good morning, Calabishi.
And the reason is clear. It's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind.
Oh, this song reminds you of weddings, huh? You're gonna get married soon, my friend? My friend Risa, huh? She loves this one. Send me an invitation, okay?
Just the same, be you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on top of the world, down on creation, and the only explanation I can find.
Happy birthday to Stella, Paul, and Point Michelle. Stella, good morning to you.
Be at the top of the world, on the top of the world, down.
I know that's what you love about Q95, huh? Making everybody smile in the morning. That's your station. Spread the word.
Since you've been around, your love's put me at the top of the world.
All right, thank you, car painters there this morning. Good morning, good morning. Let's do this and come back.
Confidence at Court. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Court. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
We now carry and are fully stocked in granola fertilizers. Urea 46%, great for leafy green 15-15-15, great for all vegetables or young fruit trees 20-20-20, best for foliar spray and seedings and small vegetables 12-12-17, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits 12-24-12, root crop fertilizer like dasheen and white potato 12-4-28, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits. Red potash for fruit trees and vegetables. All the fertilizers you need are available at Bloombox, located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road. Your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
From the cradle to the grave, you don't want to do free. You need a loan you want to save. You want some and visitors today. With a commitment to quality, therefore you and me was one the family, but now with the community, making life easy, yes, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage,
with rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
open an MRA,
Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
we will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
You all the way.
Your community financial partner.
NCTU. It's an ultimate jazzcation with fresh market, cash and carry, and best price. Spend $100 or more, and you could be the lucky winner of an all-expense-paid dream weekend at the luxurious Secret Bay Resort, plus 2 VIP tickets and spending money for jazz and Creole. Promotion runs till 30th April. It's a jazzcation, baby. Terms and conditions apply.
Dominica, the parish of St. Mark is inviting everyone all over the Mid-Isle to the launching of the Grand Scots Head Reunion on Easter Sunday. All roads lead to Kajako on Easter Sunday for the grand, impressive Scots Head Reunion from 4:30 p.m. Come and enjoy this exciting lifetime occasion. There will be fun and frolic for the entire family. You already know Scots Head is fish time anytime. So come enjoy fish upon fish upon fish, juicy, succulent, well-prepared, fresh catch of the day fish meals. Cold Kubalis, 3 for only $10 all weekend long. In the launching of the original Kubali Blush. Not forgetting the live entertainment, local style with Mr. Mix, old school, and the latest hottest hits by Dr. Miguel Lavady. Don't miss the Scots Head grand and exciting reunion where there's something for everyone, including you, this Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday, the place to be is Scots Head. Miss it, Matty, ever blamical, blame yourself. Look at people.
1998, within your trusted one for everything you need to do your construction from steel and lumber, window, paint and doors, power tools, water tank, hardware supply, and so much more. Maxwell Trading, your foundation to building success. Maxwell Trading, we only giving you the best. But Maxwell Trading, we offer delivery. Maxwell Trading, come from Calais and visit we at Maxwell Trading, your foundation to building success. Maxwell Trading, we only giving you the best. But Maxwell Trading, we offer delivery. Maxwell Trading, come from Calais and visit we. Come visit us today at the Fonkelay Industrial Site or call us at 449-9465. Maxwell Trading, your foundation.
Give babies the comfort they need with Paddler's diapers. A diaper with a powerful storage core that locks the wetness away and keep your baby dry. Smooth your baby's skin with a breathable cotton-like cover because Paddler's diapers has a wetness indicator. Your precious baby deserves a diaper like Paddler's, which has an easy fit due to flexible side panels with stretch that ensures increased comfort and freedom to move, to crawl, to walk, to run, and play. Paddlers distributed by Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
There's a lot to talk about. We're going to start off with this report. Dominica, I'm hoping that the police are recording. I know they always record Matt in the morning, huh? Let's listen to what the world is hearing now. And then we'll go to Mr. Blackmore on Sherma, Tyrampola's DPP. On protest action, they claim were illegal and the continuing arrests of the patriots in Dominica. Let's do this one and we move on. this one there. Let's go.
This is a Clarity News TV wrap-up on a story we've been covering since mid-December 2024. Electoral reform in Dominica. You can see the playlist for full coverage. By any standard of democracy, what unfolded in Dominica on March 19th is a national tragedy. For 15 years, the Dominican people have pleaded for electoral reform, real reform. They've demanded a voter list that reflects reality, not a bloated, outdated registry crammed with the names of the dead and long-absent overseas voters. They've called for transparency, for campaign finance laws, for fairness. Instead, they got a farce. After 25 uninterrupted years in power, the ruling Labor Party has perfected the art of holding elections without upholding real democracy. And now they've set the final piece in place, a so-called Electors Act masquerading as reform, while entrenching the very fraud and manipulation that has kept them in power. Let's be clear, Dominica will never have another fair election under these conditions. The bill that passed Parliament failed to address the two most critical demands from the people. 1. A complete re-registration of voters to purge the list of ineligible names, just as other Caribbean nations have done without chaos or controversy. 2. Campaign finance legislation to prevent the rampant vote buying and excessive spending that has corrupted the recent elections under the Labor Party. But why were these two critical requirements left out? Because the very survival of the Labor Party in office depends on them not being included. Instead of acting independently, the Electoral Commission, constitutionally charged with ensuring the integrity of elections, has become a political puppet. It's the ruling party that conducted the public consultations on reform. The commission was silent, passive, complicit. And when the people of Dominica finally rose in peaceful protest on March 19th, demanding a bill that would safeguard their democracy, not sabotage it, they were met with rubber bullets and tear gas. 3 weeks later, the arrests continue. Up to 25 demonstrators, including movement leaders, have been charged for exercising their constitutional right to assemble. This is not democracy. This is suppression. It is the criminalization of dissent. And it is the inevitable consequence of a government desperate to hold on to power, no matter the cost. The fact that the government now plans to reconfirm voters using the same corrupted list, effectively legitimizing the participation of overseas voters, many of whom have long lost legal eligibility due to prolonged absence, isn't just questionable, it's calculated. After all, the Prime Minister himself admitted publicly that he sees nothing wrong with flying in overseas voters. These voters could very well tip the scales. Critics are right to be alarmed. With no oversight on campaign financing and no cleanup of the voter list, what we are witnessing is not reform. It is the legalization of electoral fraud. The Labor Party has used the cover of reform to solidify its grip on power, perhaps indefinitely. Dominica is now worse off than before. The illusion of reform has been used to dismantle the last safeguards of democratic accountability. This is not just about one act. It's about whether the people of Dominica will ever again have a real say in who governs them. Unless the Electors Act is amended to include genuine campaign finance laws and a total re-registration of voters, the answer is simple. Dominica will never have another fair election. It will become a one-party state, and maybe that was always the plan. Brandon Paul for Clarity News TV. Continue to follow us for more in-depth news reports.
All right, well, that's what the world woke up to this morning. This report that has been circulating there, Dominica 449-3095. That's what the world woke up to this morning. The news there from Clarity News. I've been getting a lot of reports about that. 449-3095, 96 and 97 Dominica. Now, we listened to a news conference that took place about, say, 2:30 on Friday afternoon with Mr. Blackman, the security minister, Sherman Dirampel, and other, I think the acting police chief and the deputy acting police chief, they were all there at the news conference. So let's find out what went on there at the news conference. Mr. Blackman said, everything that's been said about this protest action is not true at all. Let's listen to Mr. Blackman and we'll listen to Sherman on this one. Shimmer Dalrymple. Mr. Blackmore. Where are you, sir?
Free speech, anti-people's right
Take it from the top.
to accept the notion that your government is repressive and your government is anti-expression of free speech, anti-people's right to assembly and protest is false and misleading, and the facts will speak for themselves. Let me just say further that what transpired on the 19th of March last month was nothing close to freedom of expression and freedom of association. Based on the intelligence which I cannot disclose here today, it was a planned protest with the intent to storm Parliament. A number of pre-recorded pronouncements and live pronouncements made before that actual day, that the intention was to mobilize a significant number of people and with the intention of making it difficult for the police to contain. They were not able to mobilize a significant number in the area of 3,000 or 5,000 that they were targeting, and monies were raised for that purpose. But 180 people approximately were actually mobilized, and 180 people can cause serious disruption. I want to take this opportunity to highly commend the police for the manner in which they discharge the duty on behalf of the people of this country. They will come professional and use reasonable force to curtail a mob. For those who say that it is people's right to protest, and my answer to you is yes. For those who use the Constitution, specifically Section 10 and 11, to justify the notion that is misconstrued, that your freedom of assembly and association come without limitation and restriction, that is not true at all. And in that vein, I would like to make a special plea to the people of Dominica. We were struck and affected by COVID-19, one of the most devastating disasters to hit this country. We embarked on a national mobilization exercise on education to vaccinate the people of Dominica and to immunize the people of Dominica against this deadly vaccine. Likewise, there's an urgent need for a national mobilization and educational process and program to vaccinate our people against misinformation and disinformation. And what is that vaccine, therefore? That vaccine I want to characterize is knowledge. You should know your right under the Constitution and other relevant laws of this country, as well as your responsibility. And who can provide that vaccine? Those of us and those of you with that knowledge has that moral responsibility to educate our populace and to avoid them from being misled, as we saw manifesting on the street on the 19th of March 2025.
Short of high treason, the greatest form of breach of the peace known to British law is riot. This is the history of the offense of riot. It is an offense that in law is considered to be a serious offense. In Dominica, Jamaica, Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts, Nevis, and several other Caribbean countries, riot is an offense. On the 19th day of March 2025, investigations into riotous conduct by the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force started. I first wish to draw your attention to that, contrary to various social media posts and opinion of members of the public, there is some form of illegality and police oppression by the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is not accurate. The law of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as it stands, makes provisions for individuals who engage in riotous behavior to be charged, and upon conviction to be sentenced up to 5 years imprisonment. Again, as I emphasize, this is why the offense is considered a serious offense. It is an indictable offense. Now, our sentence is somewhat lenient as compared to the British. Yes, as of present in Great Britain, this is considered an offense also, riot. But in Great Britain, the sentence is 10 years imprisonment, and you can also be fined or both. So you could be fined and confined. The law also makes unlawful assemblies an offense. These offences are found in the Riot Act, Chapter 1002 of the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is charged with enforcing the law. Upon the individuals being charged, prosecution by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution ensues. Various individuals have also been commenting and saying that it was a peaceful protest and it is the constitutional rights of individuals to assembly. Undoubtedly, Section 11 of the Constitution makes provision for freedom of assembly and association. However, the right is not absolute. With citizens' rights comes citizens' responsibilities. And the Constitution recognizes this and has placed limitations in respect of these rights. Section 11, subsection 2 of the Constitution says as follows: nothing contained in or done under the authority of any law shall be held to be inconsistent with or in contravention of this section to the extent that the law in question makes provision for A, that it is reasonably required in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, or public health. It is my opinion that the case right now falls within that particular subsection of the law. That it is reasonably required for the purpose of protecting the rights or freedoms of other persons. That it imposes restrictions upon public officers that are reasonably required for the proper performance of their functions, and except so far that provision or, as the case may be, the thing done under the authority thereof is shown to be reasonably justifiable in a democratic society. I wish to end by saying this. And this is a statement taken from the case of Loftus Durant versus the Chief of Police. It's a June 2024 ruling. It's recent, and also it's a ruling emanating from the Commonwealth of Dominica. And thirdly, it dealt with the issue of riot and public order and the Public Order Act. And at paragraph 86 of this ruling, it is stated, sometimes decisions may have to be made under extreme pressure, and other times they may remain very difficult, notwithstanding time for analysis, and there may be a high level of risk that they turn out to be wrong. The question is always not whether, with hindsight, the decision was wrong, but whether in all the circumstances it was reasonable. With public order and national security being breached, with the security of Parliament, our sympathy being compromised. Based on the legal guidance, the police, the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, acted reasonable.
Good morning, Dominica. Good morning. You heard how she ended? Police acted responsible. My telephone's already going. Let's say, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know there's a lot of comments out there since this news conference on Friday afternoon. One person's comments this morning: the minister needs to be made aware of his own misinformation and that of the DPP regarding the Constitution. So one comment so far. On the telephone, good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning to you. You've listened?
Madam, yes. I want to add my piece. Madam, a Dominican that believe in people have their rights.
Okay.
As well as your rights cannot be unfettered. You have to respect other people's rights as well. And I have no difficulty with that. But when I saw you all call the press conference, in my view, was a mess conference, Matt. It was an absolute mess, Matt. I saw a trial in the public domain, Matt. Man, it was a shame to see men who know better. A trial in the public domain, Matt. Matt, we saw first the minister, we saw the PF, we saw the DPP, we saw the chief of police, we saw the deputy chief of police. We saw a former AG, even if he said nothing as to why he was there, I don't know. Matt, we saw other high-ranking officers. And Matt, we saw a case being litigated. We saw them litigating that case, Matt, in the public. And in my view, Matt, this constitutes a breach of the rights to a fair trial, Matt. But clearly the case was being tried in the public. But Mike, like I've always said every time I get on your program, Matt, to deal with those kind of issues, Blackmore seemed to have his ministry under lockdown. Everybody bows to him. His PS, every lawyer within his circles.
Even the DPP?
The DPP herself, which under his ministry, have just fallen short of for that now. She has just fallen to that. We see a former AD getting led into that nonsense as well, Matt. Yes, I said he didn't say anything. We've always seen him controlling the Commissioner of Police. But Matt, that in itself is a clear case of Blackmore intimidating and controlling everybody within his ministry, Matt. Because for people to tell me you go in there and litigate a case in public, a whole chief of police, even giving screens, Matt, it's scripts. Matt, it's just sad. It's like they were sent there to do something. But I have two things in mind, Matt, and I will, within my presentation, I'll tell you. Well, again, I want to say, what I saw was a mockery of justice. Pretrial publicity at its highest, Matt. These men are not men of straws or people who do not know better. They know the implication of what they're doing, Matt. They know. Every one of them know the implication of the action. Maybe it was done deliberately, Matt. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Maybe what they did, the pre-trial publicity by every one of them who ought to have known better, was done deliberately, Matt. Because they realized that the police has done their mess and it is being exposed internationally everywhere. And in their view, if they can prevent that garbage, that mess they did, to go for a full trial. When I say a mess, man, you saw what transpired. You saw the videos, man.
Of course, I was right here.
Police officers reading proclamation on a thing that's smaller than a Francisca radio. Nobody could hear it. The so-called proclamation. And not immediately after Geoffrey James claimed to have read the proclamation. Within 10 to 15 minutes, Matt, you saw police in action attacking people. Matt, I get a video that needs to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told it to me that I have not seen it out there in the public. Where you could see the police walking down the streets from the roundabout down to Garaway. Nobody on the streets, but they're looking for people to pepper. Matt, and in my view, for men who know better, where you have lawyers, former AG, DPP, you know, chief of police. I mean, Matt, they must be doing it with an intention. So that a lawyer, some competent lawyer will move for pre-trial publicity and the case will die there without going to a full trial to expose their incompetence and their lack of respect for human rights, Matt. You know what I'm saying, Matt? But I want to say clearly, I felt sorry when I see Blackmore ranting and raving, Matt, playing politics, and a DPP sitting there, a chief of police sitting there on the head table like they're politicians, a former AG, well, he could be a politician now. Well, he still works in the AG office. So these people, what were they doing there? If Blackmore talking about how he beat boss, how he do this, how he banned, he's our veteran, he come back, the act, and he bring Laron there to embarrass Laron. He never gave him a chance to talk, but when he was referring to something that transpired in Maho under UWP. He looked at Lauren smiling. Well, that's what he said.
He was actually inviting Lauren to come, but he didn't respond.
Very well. I mean, why you have to let them humiliate you like that? I mean, look at them, chalk and cheese in terms of legal knowledge and competence. So, you know, it's a sad day for justice. It was a sad day. Trust me.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I had the opportunity to ask Mr. Cobbett a question that everybody's talking about when the individual, I think it was police, was it a corporal? When he went out there and he slapped the individual, I asked Mr. Cobbett about, taking disciplinary action against the police officer. I want you to listen well to his response. I said, any disciplinary action against this individual, a protester? Let me allow you to listen there for a minute. Stick around.
Another question to follow up there, as you're there. Sir, I'm being told, and a lot of people seem disappointed in Mr. Jeffrey James, and another police officer who slapped, clear video, it was not shown here, slapped an individual there, a protester, if you want to call it that way. Will any disciplinary action be taken against these people?
I have seen many of those videos, and the alleged slap that you saw. The
alleged, you said. Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying the person who was allegedly slapped have not complained to the police. No report was made against any police officer for slapping him. None. Zero. Zilch. So just that the police is not investigating. What are we going to investigate? Nothing. No report was made at all. None. Up to today.
Are you denying it happened, sir?
I'm telling you, Mr. Pelletier, that no report was made. I'm not saying that what you saw didn't happen, but I'm saying, but no report was made. None against any police officer for slapping or for doing anything illegal.
Mr. Haley, you heard the comment.
Madam, not finished with my presentation, eh?
Go ahead, though.
I was going to deal with that as well.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Two things. First of all, Quebec get an easy way out, because one, you talk about a slap. The person in question did not receive a slap. The man was hit with a firearm in his hands, in the hands of the police officers, and he knocked him out. It wasn't a slap. He had a 5 minutes, and if you put it in slow motion and you stop it, you can see when he knocked him with his arm. Then he put the 5 minutes in his waist. You could see it, Matt. It was clear. And I think Quebec was trying to redeem himself. But he's saying to you, ask the man to make a damn report. Because the man should make a report. And Quebec repeated 3 times. No report has been made. So it would be interesting. You have 6 months in which to make a report. You understand what I'm saying, Matt?
I understand.
Yes, some people feel no hard feelings and leave you for God. Some people say, I hold no grudges. And in their mind, they hold no grudges. And that is it. Maybe the police can walk this and feel free. Maybe he can feel free that he did his actions and there's no repercussions. There'll be no charge. There'll be nothing. But like Cobbett is washing his hands. His police force is not the one holding back the investigation. The man did not make a report. Not. Another thing I heard. I saw people talking about everywhere in the Caribbean where they have that law, the rioting and whatever is on the book. But what he refused to tell us, what countries have ever invoked it? Is there any country that it has been used? And I believe if there were countries where it was been used, that antiquated set of laws, she would have told us, Matt. Would you agree with me?
I would.
And Matt, when you're referring to Antigua as another country, Antigua is no example. It is the same Antigua who tried to kidnap Choxy together with Dominica and Dominica Police Force. Matt, it is them, Dominica and Antigua, 2 rogue states. But you know what, Matt? When you do those things, you get rewarded for them. So we cannot say too much. But again, I want to tell Blackmore, stop using intimidatory scare tactics on the people of Dominica, trying to justify his actions and his police. together with his DPP, Matt, who saying the police acted responsibly. Matt, I heard the DPP talk about the Loftus Durant case.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about it is a Dominica case. And it happened in 2024, Matt. I'm very disappointed, Matt. That matter is before the Court of Appeal for review. How do you use it as precedent? How do you try to bring it forward as if it is subtle law? When you know the matter is under review, is that something you can talk about with any level of confidence? Because the matter is now before the Court of Appeal for review appeal.
It has been appealed. You're very right, yes.
Yes, Matt. It is before the Court of Appeal for review. But I want to say to Blackmore that no amount of press conference he put out there to do his damage control for the international scene, for the international world, but it will not work. Because human rights, the international world is looking down on Dominica. A protest with a few hundred people. You tear gassing, beating down. You're not doing all those action, arresting people for a whole month. Keeping the country under siege. But where you ever hear that happening? If you give Blackmore a chance, he will go down to maybe August, arresting 1, 2, to create fear, to intimidate the people. But I believe Dominicans have a right now more than ever to stand up against that form of intimidatory tactics, Matt. It is wrong, and it it cannot ever be right, Matt. And I want to say to Dominicans, don't be intimidated into believing that you don't have your rights or your human rights. You have it. Matt, I saw you and Curtis putting something to Blackmore, and he was happy in the way you all were putting it about your rights to protest. And he said there's no right to protest, and I agree with him. But Dominicans have a right to gather. You have a right to associate with to have a gathering. There's nothing wrong. So, what I want to say, Matt, Dominica signed on to the ICCPR, and I know that eyes on Dominica, with Blackmore heavy on the waves, Corbett and his police officers, Matt. Well, Corbett didn't put his hand in it, eh? Say one, say two. This time around, Corbett's hand wasn't directly in it. He could have given the order. But this time around, his hand wasn't directly in it. But I want to say something to the professionals and so-called professionals in Dominica. Whether you think this administration have something on you or not, don't be blackmailed by these guys.
Let me ask you a question, because you seem very knowledgeable as it relates to the law. Now, I asked Mr. Blackmore a specific question that actually came from a top minister, former top minister of government. It said, and he said, read the section of the Public Order Act which provides for permission to be obtained for the holding of a public meeting. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, Matt. I read the Public Order Act. I cannot tell you exactly where, but I read it somewhere that you would need for a public meeting, you would need to have permission from the police. However, Matt, again, every law in Dominica, and I'm not a lawyer, I have no big knowledge in law, Matt, you know that. I'm a farmer. I just have a little understanding of certain things based on my basic common sense. So I don't want anyone to take me as if what I say is gospel.
Right.
I'm subject to criticism and to correction.
Correction, of course, yes.
That I've said. But I can tell you, one thing I know, whatever law that any administration in Dominica, when Edison did it in Maho, it was wrong. When Eugenia did it wherever, it was wrong. And when Labour do it doesn't make it right. Okay, Matt? However, every law in Dominica must come into conformity with the Constitution. The Constitution cannot give you a right to gather and have a discussion. And the Public Order Act telling you cannot gather. I mean, to me, the Constitution has to take precedence. And for Blackmore to believe that he can tell Dominicans, 12, 13, 14 of all, you cannot be on the road, is absolute crap. And I want to continue by telling the professionals, Matt, Do not be intimidated or be blackmailed by these guys. Because they have more skeleton in their closet than you, the public officer, that think, boy, you're scared because they have that on you, You ought never to let them think you're scared of them. Because that's what they want, to blackmail you, push you in a corner. We know about human trafficking in Dominica. And we know who is the king of human trafficking. We know who made the most money in Haitian trafficking. We know who made the most money in Spanish trafficking. It wasn't the average professional out there. Politicians make millions out of human trafficking, man. Millions. People that never had anything. That's why it was just scary. I thought was going to cram down on them. But he did not. I guess he wants everyone to dirty their hands too. That's my contribution, man.
Good morning to you, Mr. Hillary Schillenfeld. Bro, I must say kudos to Hillary. As a former police officer, sending me a text message here. The case was being tried in the public to influence the potential jury. God bless this true patriot, Hillary Schillenfeld. We're going to take a break. When we come back, this time I'll be talking to a lawyer. We're going to come back after this. Stick around.
Big news, Dominica Do-It Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Do-It Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Dominica, something big is coming. The countdown begins to celebrate the heartbeat of Dominica, our music, our legends, our rising stars. May 17th, 2025. Mark your calendars and save the date for Dominica Music Awards of 2025. Presented by Ambassador Prince Radix and Creole Hits. Partners, QFM the Big Station. Are you ready?
Ooh, oh, oh, KFC. Ooh, oh, KFC. Looking for some place to go. Great variety knows for so. Party your origin KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Need to upgrade your home? Get new arrivals in dining. Plus, buy more and save more on bedroom sets and get an additional 10% on credit purchases of any bedroom set. Want quality products that provide value at the best prices backed by full warranty? We've got you. Plus, shop today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram as Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Megadeals for some real deals.
At Bloombox, we now carry and are fully stocked in granola fertilizers. Urea 46%, great for leafy green 15-15-15, great for all vegetables or young fruit trees 20-20-20, best for foliar spray and seedings and small vegetables 12-12-17, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits 12-24-12, root crop fertilizer like dasheen and white potato 12-4-28, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits. Red potash for fruit trees and vegetables. All the fertilizers you need are available at Bloombox, located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road. Your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy Drink, and of course the Sunglass Juices, Thomas Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill Juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
All right, Dominica. Attorney at law, Mr. Earl Williams, have been following this from the very beginning. Since March 19th. He's a Dominican lawyer and, of course, trained in the U.S. as well. So he's qualified in American law and in Dominican law. So he's on the telephone with us there for the next few minutes. Mr. Earl Williams, what's your thoughts on what happened on Friday afternoon? Talk to me.
Well, I listened to the
news conference. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because clippings were sent to me, and I just could not believe the revelation from the DPP and the minister involved. First of all, the DPP started by talking about high treason, and they concluded that there was a breach of national security. They also said the parliamentarian, their lives were in danger. Now, besides the whole idea that could not possibly be true because the parliamentarians were properly secured, the minister said there were around 180 people in that demonstration. There were more than 180 policemen with riot gears, you know, I don't know what else they had, grenades, everything. They were well prepared. So there could not be, possibly the lives of the parliamentarians could have never been in danger because they had more than enough policemen to deal with the crowd. Number two, if you claim that there was a breach of national security, and no one has been charged for that breach of national security. Our lives are in danger in this country. The Minister for National Security and the DPP telling us that there was a breach of national security, but yet no one has been charged or arrested for that breach of national security, which is supposed to be one of the highest crimes in a country. Instead, we see only political party that was charged under a bogus Rights Act. I have tried to explain and I respect this game. Our right to assembly is a right that should not be interfered rightly.
Can you go in a different area because we seem to be losing that signal there, Mr. Williams? Go move to another area wherever you are. Are you there?
Let me
Yes.
change.
Yeah, change your direction. Yes.
Yeah. So Matt,
Mm-hmm. I suspect I'll have to call you back because we
No, I'm good.
You're good there?
Hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
You hear me?
I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
So this right to assembly is a fundamental right, and it should not be interfered lightly. And one of the reasons why you can interfere is for breach of national security. And yet, they haven't explained to us what was the breach, who were the persons involved in breaching it. Do you know that? And are you aware that they have said they have their own people? I don't think it's whether it's policemen or not. They have their own people infiltrated in these people's peaceful assembly. The attorney should try to find out who are these people. We need to see videos and point them out because maybe these people were planted there to engage in breach of the peace and to give them some license to come in. We don't know what else these people were engaged to do by the state, but the state interfered with these people's right to assembly from the beginning. It was a violation of that right. That's a revelation we get from that press conference. So when people assemble, Matt, and I said that before on one of those programs, they assemble for a common purpose. In the US, many people assemble because they want women to have pro-choice, to have or those that say no abortion. We see people assemble for all different purposes. In Dominica, the common purpose for their assembly on March 19th was electoral reform. People assemble maybe this morning because some people probably go to school. Some people assemble for education, for school, for church. So anyway, we assembled for common purpose of electoral reform legislation. So therefore, everybody was in the same common purpose at that time. So what was the need for them to be rioting against each other? What was the need for them to be fighting against each other? The government did to tell me, no, Matt. Things turned sour when the rival demonstrators, many times you have two sides to demonstration. One demonstration for this and the other one for that. So when the rival demonstrators come up, those that anti the demonstration, within the police officers, then the brawl began because they came ready to fight. And the evidence is there because they came with guns, they came with riot gear, they came with all sorts of things. They came with tear gas, they came with everything. They came for war. They didn't come there to protect the protesters as their constitutional right demands because they were supposed to protect them. They didn't come there to put peace. They came for war. They came for riot. And that is what we're facing. Now, she ended by saying the police actions were reasonable. No, the police actions has to be justified. Was there excessive force by the police? was that they're necessary to do all the checkers and things before this. And even if you want to use the word reasonable, it's going to be an objective test, not a subjective test. It's going to, they need to tell us, and they haven't told us up to now, what are the violent acts that was taking place? Because riot, you must have an element of violence. What are the acts of violence that the police saw and they want to stop? Who would be injured? What property that will be in damage? This is what they should have come and tell us. Hey, we charge them under the Riot Act because so many people were injured. So many people so many people being destroyed.
I suspect, Mr. Williams, you're making some fundamental points, but we seem to be losing signal. I'll have to call you, find a different way to call you and get a bit better signal. But for now, Mr. Owen, I'll try to get you maybe sometime later. But let's end the conversation here because your signals seem to be getting in and out. Are you still there? You went to a better place. I'm just trying to get you a clear signal from you.
I'm hearing you.
You hearing me now?
I'm hearing what you say.
Okay.
So, yes, you are not hearing me?
I'm hearing you. No. Yes, because we seem to be losing you now and then. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. But let me ask you a question before you move on, because somebody's asked me to ask you a question. Mr. Williams, is there a fundamental difference between a riot and a protest? Because the DPP said England has a similar act, but I see protests in England for Black Lives Matter, anti-Zionist protests, etc., without arrest for peaceful protesters.
She also claimed there was a breach of public order. So she could put them under the Public Order Act. And why didn't they charge them under the Public Order Act? Because you know why, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
The Public Order Act is only 6 months imprisonment, a summary conviction. They are trying to send a message. They are trying to silence Dominicans that if you venture to be part of any assembly, to be part of any protest, this is what you're going to face. Because you said there was a breach, they themselves said that there was a breach of public order, and not one person was charged under the Public Order Act. They also claimed that there was no license. The Riot Act does not require a license. The only legislation that requires is the Public Order Act. So why did you charge them there again under the Public Order Act? Matt, these people's aim was to do mischief, was to tell these people, you have a right to assemble, but I will determine when you exercise that right, how you exercise that right, and you will only exercise it in manners that I tell you, and when I feel I want to allow you to do it. That is what they're telling Dominicans. You have a fundamental constitutional right, but I'm in charge of that right. The Constitution never meant for any government, for any single person to be in charge of anybody's right. Even when you go to prison, your constitutional rights still exist. Your human rights still exist. So, and then that's another thing. The right to assemble is not only a constitutional right anymore. It is a basic human right. Because humans with common minds, common interests, have that right to assemble for the purpose of their common mind or their common interest. And that's what right Dominican exercise on March 19th, like every other human being in this world. So all the excuses, all the things we heard with that press conference, none of them were relevant to the March 19th arrest. Because no national security breach. No one has been arrested for breach of the peace and for lack of permit to have protest. No one has been arrested for those things. That's right behavior. And you came to that press conference and you cannot explain to us as Dominicans what riot was taking place. Who were the people involved in that riot? Who were people that were injured in that riot? What property was destroyed during that riot? Nothing. Nothing. Instead, you tell us all about high trees in England, all about the breach of public order act, all about not having permits, and not one person has been arrested saying you assemble with the permit. Not one. Not that it would hold, because you don't need any permit to assemble. No permit to assemble. People have a right to assemble freely and without interference. And it's from the onset. That's a new thing that came up. And the lawyers need to take note of it. From the onset, was a breach of that right to assemble when the government decide to send their spies, send their informants, and send their people to be part of that gathering, to be part of that assembly, having listening devices, having their little cameras and do this. We don't know what else these people were doing. We don't know if these people were responsible for doing any of the damage they think people did. So we need to know who are these people. Who are they? We need to identify them in the crowd and how they participated in that assembly, that peaceful assembly. We need to know the government involved because the government was part of it. And these people, the fact that they were there, they should be arrested too. And the government should be responsible because the government was part of that assembly based on what I'm hearing right now. I have these people planted inside. These people's plan their freedom and their right to assemble, that the government hijacked it and plant all these people inside there and took over. So this was a government exercise. When the 10 government get involved, this was a government exercise. So they should not be arresting anybody. Because it's a government exercise now, because government took over the assembly on March 19th by having so many people planted inside there, being part of what was going on. And now you want to divorce yourself from it and arrest only UWP supporters that were peaceful, never involved in doing anything, did not throw a stone, did not hit anybody, did not participate in any violence, nothing. And these people you want to arrest. And you have your people inside there behaving how they want because they think they were above the law. They were representing the state. And yet, we Dominicans need to know who are these people. What card they played from the moment they get involved. We need to know. Maybe they were all part of the planning. We don't know. So there are a lot of more questions than answers as a result of that press conference.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Earl Williams. We'll try to get in touch with you sometime later because I'm sure people are, questioning and, of course, want to react to this, a lot of things that you said this morning. Very interested. Very, very interesting information. They're coming from Mr. Earl Williams, based in the U.S., as it relates to the news conference that took place there on last Friday. Stick around. We'll take my phone calls. Earl Williams, thank you very much for putting some perspective on meat on the bone. I'm very surprised. The numbers, if you want to participate this morning, it's 449-3095-96 and 97. All right, let's continue here. 449-309-596 and 97. These and I'm very, very, very surprised to learn that Mr. Cobbett saying that nobody reported that. Interesting.
Another question to follow up there, as you there, sir. I'm being told, and a lot of people seem disappointed, Mr. Jeffrey James, and another police officer who slaps, clear video, it was not shown here, slapped an individual there, a protester, if you want to call it that way. Will any disciplinary action be taken against these people?
I have seen many of those videos, and the alleged slap that you saw. The
alleged, you said. Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying the person who was allegedly slapped have not complained to the police. No report was made against any police officer for slapping him. None. Zero. Zilch. So to suggest that the police is not investigating, what are we going to investigate? Nothing. No report was made. At all. None. Up to today.
Are you denying it happened, sir?
Well, I'm telling you, Mr. Peltier, that no report was made. I'm not saying that what you saw didn't happen, but I'm saying, but no report was made. None against any police officer for slapping or for doing anything illegal.
Let's go to the telephone at this time. Yes, a lot of phone calls. Yes, good morning to you. Talk to me. Good morning to you.
I am doing my breakfast at the thing, and I'm here with God's preaching. God brings the counsel of the ungodly to nothing, but his counsel will stand. And he said that he uses the foolish things of this life in the book of Corinthians. He uses the foolish things of this life to confound the strong. And he uses the weak thing he uses the foolish things of the earth to confound the wise. And he uses the foolish things of this earth to confound the strong. In everything you see that happening, why man is making the plan, God is making his plan. And God's plan will stand forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's move on there for 493095966. Yes, listen.
Listening to the conversation.
Thank you.
I had a similar question in mind that Earl spoke about and Mr. Shillingford alluded to earlier. The right to protest, which is your constitutional right, and a Public Order Act where you need a license for a public meeting or a public gathering. To me, these are two fundamentally different things. But if you remember last year when something similar happened, when the government and the police infringed on the rights of protesters, what Mr. Blackmore came in the public and said, he said the police acted within the rights. And people need to inform people that when they gather, there is a possibility of injury or being arrested and stuff. So it's a matter of a fear tactic and trying to infringe on the people's fundamental rights again, which is by law in the Constitution. So I find it very difficult that we could be having this conversation today when people won't allow common sense to prevail. You have a government that suppresses everything, right? Why would they don't even want to give you a license for a public meeting. How would you get a license from them to protest? This is impossible. This is madness.
Look at the DPP and the Minister of Security said the police did a good job and Haiti is crying for help, while CARICOM just pushes out statements. Furthermore, tell people to refrain from making statements about the DPP for the protection of their own lives. We are not dealing with a normal everyday government. Was this a trial in the public that took place there last Friday? Just a question. So if the police see a clear video of robbery at a business place, if the business owner don't make a complaint or don't make a report, the police won't take action. Yes. If you just heard that somebody was murdered down the road, 3 houses away from the police station, are you not going to investigate? Even somebody need to make a complaint if you just heard about a murder or somebody in Roseau have some cocaine. Somebody has to come and invest or tell you what's going on there. I don't know, Mr. Cobbett. On the telephone, hello, talk to me on the telephone. Sorry. Yes.
Good morning, man.
Morning to you, morning.
So, Matt, I would like to ask you another question. Is it too late for right now for the man to file in a complaint? The man that was hit with the boot.
Obviously not. I think you have about 6 months to file the complaint, yes.
Well, he can still file a complaint
Mhm.
because he was badly injured and he was in the police cell. Maybe it's because of that he have maybe really recover
Mhm.
from that lash he get there.
My information suggests I think the family may be looking at that, yes.
But that is it. They have to do that, man. They can't sit down and wait on that. And I would like to ask if they charge some of the charges for riotous behavior. What was I rioting about? I would like to ask that question. I would really like to ask that question. What was I arrested for? No, I don't know what
I just saw you standing there, Blue Blue. I didn't see you doing any, illegal action. You were just standing.
I would like to ask that question. What was I arrested for? A bag on my side, 2 bags on my side, on his side, an umbrella in my hand to help support my knee, a PA system in my megaphone in my hand, and I talking. What was I arrested for? And a placard and a T-shirt on me. What was I arrested for? I would really like them to tell me because they haven't told me yet. They just tell me they charge me for riotous behavior. What was I rioting about? Matt, we're in a sorry state in that country. When you have the DPP sitting down there lazy with the, how do you call him? White, more black, more green, whatever more he is, Matt. Matt, what do you expect, Matt? Birds of a feather flock together. This DPP there, she not there, maybe she be there because of whoever helped her to get there. So she cannot do nothing better. So she have to maybe say what they tell her to say. So Matt, we're in a police state, we're in a place in that country where we are government, people railroading all the people in the ministry. Matt, we have a bullock in that country, and it's time for the outside world to really listen to us. For what's going on.
Well, they pay more attention to Haiti at this time. I'm hoping that the attention is turned to Dominica.
They will pay attention to Haiti because they maybe have something to secure in Haiti, but they feel they got nothing to secure in Dominica. Remember Ross went, Remember we get Ross out of the way, so the Chinese could be here, right? So what they going to do? They have nothing to protect here. So we have to try to protect ourselves because we have a set of lying people that sitting down, getting payment, and what they do? We are serious state in our country. I saw a video going around. I understood that even not real bullets were being fired there too. You know that. You saw that video? Well,
I don't know whether it was some experts would have to tell me that. Some experts would have to tell.
I saw a video going around like that. I don't know what it is. I wasn't there when bullets were being fired. I wasn't there when tear gas was being fired. So I don't know. So Matt, we go know what's going on in that country.
Well, we will find out. Thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. More voice notes. Yes.
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you.
A quick one. Not going to be long this morning. Matt, the DPP and a politician have no right being on the same political platform in a press conference discussing any matter, okay? The political directorate is separate from the judiciary, okay? We have 3 arms of government: the judiciary, the executive, and the administrative. and they are all separate and distinct. The DPP has no right, nothing doing here on the same political platform with a politician discussing anything that they deem to be criminal. Okay? It just shows how the judiciary is not independent. She had no right to be. Secondly, she stopped short. She read from the Constitution, but she stopped short. Because further down it says that any law that is deemed to be inconsistent with the Constitution takes over. So when they make a law trying to curtail your freedom of association and freedom of movement and any of your civil rights, once those are in contravention with the Constitution takes over. So your right to protest, to freedom of assembly cannot be, okay? Cannot be curtailed, especially once it is not infringing on other people's rights. So yes, there are limitations, there are restrictions, but once they are not infringing on other people's rights, nobody can hinder you in your freedom of assembly and association. So the DPP was very disingenuous when she read that and stopped right there. She needed to continue and read it where it states that any law that is in contravention with the Constitution supersedes. All right? That is my 2 points for this morning.
It's already 9:32. Talk to me, yes?
Matt,
Yes, I'm
that
here.
question asked COVID there,
Mm-hmm.
and that response is very telling, you know, Matt, because Corbett confirmed what the police is all about. The police is all about protecting their own. Corbett confirmed that he saw a lot of those things, not just that one that you referred to him, but he saw a lot of that evidence. And it's ironic, Matt, that they are using camera and video evidence that their people, their spies, their police officers that they plant in the crowd.
And they did not see that slap.
Yes, you check. They're using that to go behind people, to make arrests, of people they say who've committed crimes. But the video evidence that Mr. Corbett has of his own police officers committing crime, he's not interested in that video, in those videos, because as he says, the people must come and make a report. And I've been advocating for that for a long while now. The people who have been affected by the tear gas, by the cool rush in their head, their windscreen broken, who get gun butt in their head and so on, all of those people together with all the other protesters should just go in the charge office and make their grievances. You heard it now coming from Mr. Corbett forcefully. As Hillary highlighted, Mr. Corbett is advocating now for people to come in and make their report against those police who were rioting against the people. Matt, one of the acts that you describe as a riotous act is pelting Kurosh, You check? There is video evidence of an Officer Williams pelting Kurosh and JJ standing right there, the acting deputy commissioner. Don't forget to put the word acting, Matt, before they thing there, because they're just acting. But the DPP, Matt, the record is that we have orders from the CCJ. The CCJ, or the highest court in the land, the CCJ says that a case dealing with election reform, election stealing and cheating and so on must go to trial. Okay? The CCJ makes that ruling. What does the DPP do? The DPP says to hell with the CCJ. Who is the hell is CCJ? Security is more than the CCJ. Okay? So the case will not be tried, even if the highest court says that the case should be tried.
Let me give you an example, Brian, of a complaint that was made against Mr. Linton. I think made that complaint to the police about the intruders at his home caught in video camera. Has the police done any investigation? Remember that, Brian? Did you?
What did they do? They came to investigate Lennox, to spy on him, to see how his bedroom is, where this is, and so on. They didn't come there to do any work. Up till now, they cannot tell you what happened to the because, Matt, part of that investigation would reveal, Matt, that the police were the ones escorting the hijackers, the assassins. to and fro to Lennox home. The police, the assassins were being escorted by the police. So we see clearly, even from the utterance, confirmation from Mr. Corbett, the acting head, that the police has no interest in upholding law and order and protecting the public and looking for the public and being proactive about the public, about crimes that they've seen. And a number of people call you asking serious, important questions. So if you see a murder being committed down the road there, it's until a report and you tell the police or you send some video footage for the police that, look, this is happening there right now in real time. Somebody has to come and make a report. That is what we are getting from Mr. Corbett. But we know, Matt, he is, as Hillary made the point, that is a political business, a political organization. It's not, so we do not have really a genuine police force like other countries in the region. What we have is a political police organization that has been weaponized against the citizenry, and we have confirmation coming from Mr. Corbett, who is the acting head right now. Imagine you promoting JG. Now, Matt, what about this regional security system? What impacts?
Impact, yes.
Yes, Matt, we're supposed to have a delegation from Impact now investigating all what happened as a result of that riot by the police, Matt, against the citizenry. And again, Matt, it was making the point. You say it's 180 people. You have over 180 policemen, and you're launching an attack on those people in that fashion. Not one policeman is hurt. Only civilians get hurt because of your attack from tear gas, from cool wash, from rubber bullets, and so on the people, Matt. And again, the point was made and needs to be emphasized based on the law that you're using to try to persecute and prosecute people. You came and you made an announcement to disperse, and before you finish making the announcement, you start to assault the people with tear gas and cool wash and rubber bullets, Matt. And you're trying to come right now on the radio to justify that, to intimidate people so that people will not come and protest and so on. And Williams made the point. This thing about the right to assembly and the right to speak, Matt, this is more than constitutional right, This is basic human rights, because what you're trying to tell me when you hear Sherman, Blackmore, them talking is that you must be oppressing me. You must be keeping me in bondage. You must be doing all type of wickedness. I cannot vote to elect a government of my choice, which is what the Constitution and the law promise me. You're denying me all of those things, Matt. I must just take your oppression. And when I fed up, and I want to tell you that I'm upset because I try in all types of ways to tell you, but, ease me up a little, you're controlling everything, the law, the policemen, you kill the banana industry. So give us a little ease, when I want to protest to tell you that what you're doing is hurting me, I must come to you, because we know now the police force is part of them. Confirmed by Corbett. I must come to you to ask you, my oppressor, to ask you, my persecutor, for permission for me to protest or to demonstrate or to assembly against you. I must come to you to do that, Matt. Does that make sense, Matt? You understand? So that's why we need to understand that in terms of our basic human rights, God-given rights, Matt. And that is where we are today. So it's a sad statement when we have all of those officials coming to lie about the law to try to keep people oppressed and so on. And you have a police force, Matt, that clearly, as the commissioner confirmed, the acting commissioner confirmed, Matt, it clearly has nothing to do with protecting the interests and the will of the people in Dominica, Matt. It's a sad state in Dominica.
Sad state. Let's move on to more phone calls there. Thank you, Brian. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt. Good morning.
Morning to you.
I listened to the press conference and I, never hear so much more stupidness that don't make any sense. Let me ask you a question. Matt, when a soldier leave his country and go to another country and there is war, what he went there for? To fight and to kill, right?
Right.
Because it's a war. But even while they are fighting war in another country, They still have rules that govern them. And if they do what they're not supposed to do, even while they are at war in another country, do you know that they face disciplinary action and they go to prison too?
That is true. That is very true, yes.
Yeah, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. The first time I went on a military base and I had a tour on the base, they have their prison there too. And they face disciplinary action when they go in other people's country to fight and to kill after whatever, when they come back. So when you see the police put whatever from one hand in the other hand, which looks like a gun, and slap the man, and the man fell dead on his face, and then they did not see that on the video. Even when JJ was showing what other video about, like the blocking up of the road. I mean, who blocked the road? Was it the civilians that put the barricade there for themselves and then claim it was the police? And let me tell you, Matt, since you're not supporting this administration, I'm telling you, their eyes on you. Okay? I call whatever time and I talk about my ex and what he used to do in the time of the Freedom Party administration, what he did and what he tried to do with our son. He tried to get to register to vote in Dominica when the boy don't leave. I think I probably made headline. You see where I am? I made headlines where my name is and what I said. I'm not telling a lie. And he's sick. And if he honestly wants to repent and don't go to hell, and somebody ask him, he would tell the truth. I didn't tell him to take me to court. The house in Nehru is not mine. Is his children's own. Matt, I don't know, but I'm telling you, if you look on this thing, it does not even want to give you a taste to even pass back in Dominica. But I'm telling you, this is the land of my birth. And nobody will stop me from coming there. So the JJ is one that said to me, he said it like it wasn't a joke, but when people tell you certain things, you might think it's a joke, but you better watch your step. I came one time and I went to a meeting and the same JJ saw me and he told me, I warn you not to follow these people. I will arrest you, I will arrest you. He said, somebody sent his name on my board and he thought it was me. So I myself, I don't even know who my boy is because I don't even live home. I don't know who my boy is. So I laugh it out as a joke. A few weeks after or whatnot, he met me again and he said, you know what? I did my investigation and I found out it was not you who sent my name on my board. So I said, so when you said that you were serious about what you were saying, I said, I thought you were just joking. But as long as you can come back long after and tell me you did your investigation and you find out it was not me that sent your name to my boy. I said, I don't know who my boy is and I don't know anything about my boy and I don't give a rat's ass about my boy. So that is to tell you, you think sometimes we're joking, but sometimes the people must be serious because we're watching you. But I'm always person, I always look over my shoulder and I know I am not one of their favorites and they're looking at me too.
Well, just take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. Just taking a break here, taking something from the Trade Winds, something called Famous Lies.
If you listen to people conversation, eventually you will have to realize almost everybody sooner or later will tell you one of several famous lies. And you hear them almost every day, east, west, north, and south. Let me illustrate what I'm talking about. If a fella doing a scene, or he buys Penthouse magazine, because the articles are supreme, he lies. If a man in Manitoba, in the middle of the winter, Says, you know, I love this brother. He lied. And Joan go to bed with Joe. And he said, darling, I love you so. I will phone you tomorrow. He lied. I never rubber check come from Frank. And he blame it all on the bank. He lied, he lied, he lied. That's a famous lie.
I can tell you the Minister of Security is listening this morning there. 9:49. Is it? No, it's 9:46. Sorry. I tell you, every program has been recorded there. Every single program of the Hot Sets. I always think about what you say before you say it and think.
And lying like hell. They know that they're lying, but they're lying all the same. And everybody play the same damn game. If some people come to visit, they spill curry on your white carpet, and you say, don't worry about it, it's all right. You lie. You forget that the 10th of May was your girlfriend's birthday, and she said, darling, it's okay, I don't mind. She lied. And if a woman going out the door saying, I am off to the store, go buy one item and no more, she lied. And if a man tell you, listen mate, I make love 7 hours straight, he lied, he lied, he lied. That's a famous lie. Everywhere you go, same situation. These famous lies have been going on for many years. You will hear them in Baltimore and in Lisbon. You will hear them in Grand Cayman and Algiers. And you may find yourself one day telling famous lies. Here are some that you might recognize. You know that you are hearing a tale. If someone says without fail, I just put the check in the mail. He lied. And your ex
9:48. Let's take a phone call. 449. Just wanted to allow you to drink a cup of coffee. Hello, talk to me. Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you and your listeners at home and abroad.
Morning to you, boss. Good morning.
Yes, I'm listening. Let me tell you, I think the callers, your program, are giving a very good account of themselves and the arguments that they're raising. I mean, a caller called earlier on and made reference to the press conference on Friday, and really it was a campaign as to who contesting where and who will come back from retirement and so on. But I heard there. And the second thing I thought it was trying to call the case in the public, and so on. That's what I get from that thing. I have a lot to say, Matt, but the time will come and the place will come where I will say what I have to say and how I have to say what I have to say. But to say in my life, one of my better politicians in the world is Nelson Mandela, because, he went through all of this persecution just because he was black and so forth. No other ill, he was just a black person. And God helped him. He took his jail, he came out, he became president, and he never operated or governed with hatred against others, those who do mischief. And I think any God-fearing person, when the Holy Week, any God-fearing person will understand that mischief will happen for a while, but mischief can never stand. And I have learned as a young boy joining the politics, I have learned how to conduct myself, what to do and how to assist, and how to stand for justice. I remember people like David Jr. Charles, may so rest in peace, Brian Arlene, and many other lawyers like Roland David, may so rest in peace, Babs Dyer, who stood for people in those days who could not even stand for themselves and pay for court representation. And they stood for persons irrespective of what party they support, who they support, and what they support, because it's a fair thing to do, to stand for humanity and to defend people's right, to stand for justice and so forth. And that has been my life, that's my mantra and so forth. And therefore, those who have evil to do, let them do it, so the evil you do, before we should say to leave, after you live with you and so forth. So once God gives us long life, you will see, and when I did my insurance training, it tells you, if you don't die early, you'll live old. And if you live long, you'll grow old. And when you grow old, and so it's what you do in your younger days, your early days, that will help you in your older days. So I'm listening my piece right there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's already 9:51 in the morning. Every telephone line is very busy. Stick around. Let's go back to the telephone. My telephones are ringing off the hook. The hell, talk to me. Inundated the phone. Yes, hello.
A very good morning to you, Mackelton.
Good morning to you, Pastor Randy Rodney.
I hope you had a very lovely weekend, Matt.
I did. A lot of rest. Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Matt, we in a pack of trouble in Dominica, you know.
Trouble.
And Dominicans must open their eyes to see that. So let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I understood that the position of the Director of Public Prosecution is a position that should, if it's functioning in its proper objective, should be able to bring a matter to the court that could be against, for example, a civil servant or minister. But
are you there?
Untainted in its office. Certainly, this Director of Public Prosecution is nowhere close to that. And I say that based on the actions in the past and this PR activity dubbed the press conference of the ministry. Of course, once you can go against the apex court and do what you want because it does not suit your bosses, then you are not operating objectively. Now, here is what this government, including the police, has done from March. They have realized that they have acted ultra-virus the Constitution. They have done everything that they should not have done. And some of the people, police officers among them, jockeying for position in the police force, have used their uniform to do what they should not do. So the police high command, beginning with now retired Mr. Valerie, have consistently misled the public with regard to, for example, the Public Order Act. The Public Order Act has no opposition to the Constitution, if you ask me. And why do I say that? The Public Order Act makes mention and provides a definition for a meeting and a procession. Those are two different activities. A meeting, according to the Public Order Act, is where people are gathered together, right, for the purpose of public discussion on public subjects. Let me read for you exactly. A meeting means a meeting held for the purpose of discussion of matters of public interest or for the purpose of expression of views on such matters. That's a meeting. A procession by the Public Order Act is something different. A procession is referred to as a march, a demonstration or procession in a public place, except a march, demonstration, or procession, and you have the exceptions, which is ordered by the president, ordered by or sanctioned by the commissioner of police. The act says that to have a procession or a march, you have to ask for permission of the commissioner 3 days before the activity, for a procession, not for a meeting. The police commissioner, former Mr. Valerie, read that act and then came to say to the public that the meeting is an illegal meeting because they didn't get permission. Totally erroneous. Absolutely erroneous. Right? So that the meeting could not have been illegal. A procession, if a procession was had, would have been against the Public Order Act. Let's fast forward. Then we heard, which is what they started first with, that this was impeding on the rights of other people to use the roads and so on and so on. And that's what you heard on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said to one police high command, the people never blocked the road. The police blocked the road. The police blocked the road on March 19th from about 4:30 in the morning. Right? Blocked it in Newtown and blocked it by Stockton. The police put up barricades there. There was no body there at the time. The police blocked the road. So the police impeded the public from going from one place to the other because they decided to. They felt that they could because they want to protect whoever they want to protect. They blocked the road. Right? So the police high command and the minister, they have all been putting themselves in a place where they make a mockery of themselves, they make a mockery of the law, they make a mockery of the people by trying to mislead people. And if I may use Vince's comment to Delbert Paris in Parliament, it's not because you're not a lawyer, you can't read 2 cents and know what it says, Bodgy. Right? And so what has been happening now is that the police is, and it's unfortunate that the minister, the PS, and the DPP were, at that meeting, if you have to, making a fool of themselves, trying to justify the unjustifiable, right? It's amazing that people who use their office to use the police command to do what they want come now to tell the public that you cannot do what you have a constitutional right to do. Here's what the last thing I'm going to say to you, man. Everybody who does these things is going to find their Waterloo. So the DPP, the minister, the PS, who I understand have been very active in using police officers to do other things that is not within her purview. All these people will find their Waterloo sooner rather than later. I remind Dominicans that the deck of cards are coming down fast. Look out, and you will see it all around you. It is coming down pretty fast, and these people will not be able to pick up the ashes when it's all done. Dominicans, brace up. Keep your confidence. Lift your head high, because not only right-thinking Dominicans, but the international community, the regional community, have all been watching down on what's happening in Dominica with amazement that a government and its technocrats could do that to its people under the guise of keeping the law and keeping the peace. Matt, we shall overcome. We shall overcome very, very soon.
Thank you, Pastor Rodney. Thank you. Another lawyer is saying, Matt, on Friday that the DPP was serving as the DPD, Director of Police Defense, and not as the DPP. I'll read that again. On Friday, the DPP was serving as the DPD, Director of Police Defense. And the purpose of these arrests is not to win cases in court, but to instill the chilling effect of fear. But what is fear? The worst fear you can have is the fear itself, huh? On the telephone, good morning to you. Yes. Yes.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, Matt, if it is illegal to protest, then two things. We should immediately amend that. If it's true what they're saying, that it's illegal to protest, it needs to be amended in Parliament immediately. If the parliamentarians there do not do that, then the public must drop them like a hot potato. No one should vote in any of these parliamentarians. That is, it's a long-term thing, but people should understand we need to keep our right to protest. A government cannot shut us up. And if we choose to protest, then we all have to stand the consequences to force that government to change. We will all have to take the consequences. They'll have to arrest us all. And the other question I have, Matt, is there a statute of limitation on arresting someone for being a protester? Because if that is true, Roosevelt Skerritt's administration is saying you cannot protest. Yet, Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, he took the biggest protester of the time and nominated him to be the president of Dominica for 2 terms in office. Help me make that make sense, Matt, that you are so much against protesting, yet you took the biggest protester, the leader of the protesters during the Freedom Party era that stoned Patrick John out of office, the biggest one. He becomes a minister in your cabinet. And then you nominate him and he goes on to spend 2 terms as the president of the country. Anybody can help me make that make sense, Matt? And today you are telling us we cannot protest when you put a man in office for 2 terms who was chief of the protesters. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks. You know, during the news conference, Mr. Blackmore made a reference to the roadblock that took place under the United Workers' Party. And of course, read from an article that quoted Mr. Edison James for some action he took there. I have Mr. Edison James, the former Prime Minister of Dominica, a former Prime Minister of Dominica, on the line to speak to that protest action that took place in Collio. During the UWP's reign. I want to introduce Mr. Edison James at this time. Mr. James, good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning to you, Matt, and good morning to your listeners. Thanks for having me.
Mr. James, speak to us about what took place in Collio. There was some protest action in Collio. Speak to us, because I know the minister made reference to some, quotes that you made on that particular protest.
Yeah, well, Matt, as you said, this particular matter of discussion came out of a press conference which Mr. Blackmore and others held on Friday.
Right.
But he said a number of other things, not only about Colliho. But Matt, I heard you ask Mr. Blackmore to read from the Public Order Act where it is provided that permission is required for a public meeting. And I heard Pastor Rodney a while ago, and I heard one of your earlier callers say that there is a requirement for permission to be granted for the holding of a public meeting. Bearing in mind that this Public Order Act has been the subject of much discussion in the context of what happened on Friday and before, I think it's in order to put this thing to rest. There is absolutely, and by the way, let me say to you, some people have sent me clips of Mr. Blackmore saying on several occasions that he and I speak from time to time. That is true. We speak from time to time because I speak to political opponents, former ministers from time to time. I'm not that kind of politician that feels that we must not dialogue.
True.
So I said to Mr. Blackmore before, Mr. Blackmore, there is no requirement for permission for a public meeting. And I challenged him to show me, read it for me in the act. He's never done so. He's big-eared all the time. And I was glad that Pastor Rotten mentioned that to you. But Matt, in the interest of public education, you are an influencer of people's opinions and so on in this country. You may not realize it, but you are very, very much an influencer. So I'm asking you, please, yourself, to get assistance and go through the act and clarify to people that there's no such provision. And it's important because here we are. I think somebody also mentioned.
But I asked the question on Friday, but he was not able to answer then.
He was able to answer it, but he did not want to answer it because he knows there's no such provision. And it is a source of concern to me that the minister would insist on being involved in misleading the public like that, or at least not unraveling their minds when these misgivings are there. So it's important because a public meeting, if it is that a permission is required for a public meeting, then all this thing about democracy and freedom and so on goes out of the way. So it's important.
But interestingly, I was just asking, I'm having a conversation with Mr. Blackmore, and I asked him a specific question a while ago. He has not been able to answer, though.
No, because he will not answer it. Because, I mean, one of the things we have to agree is that we must be big enough to admit when we are wrong. We might explain why we did an action, but, so he keeps dodging the question. Okay, so let me go on. The other thing is with respect to the meeting at Maho. You remember he dealt with that as well. And I heard one of your callers this morning say that what I did was wrong. But the story is, or the information is, that there was a by-election, and I heard Bosso talk a while ago. There was a by-election in Maho. I think Bosso was the candidate on the Freedom Party side. And the United Workers' Party and the Freedom Party were in conflict as to who asked for permission first to have a meeting in Maho. We are satisfied the United Workers' Party had asked, requested, had indicated, announced, because there was no provision to ask for permission for a public meeting. So a meeting was announced by us. A meeting was announced by the Freedom Party. There was clearly going to be conflict. If it is that permission was required for a meeting to be held, but I think as a reasonable analyst, you would agree that in the situation where the United Workers' Party is in office in government, the Minister of National Security is the Minister of the United Workers' Party administration, the Freedom Party would ask for permission. It's logical that the United Workers' Party would have said, okay, I'm not giving you permission, Freedom Party, and take permission for the United Workers' Party. We did not do that. We realized that there was going to be a conflict, a disagreement. So what we did, we said, look, there's likely to be disorder if two political parties in a by-election are involved in a meeting in the same place. You would agree that is not rational to happen. So we decided to use the law, the provision of the law, to declare no meetings in Maho, not the Maho constituency, but in Maho village on that day. So the Freedom Party had a meeting wherever, and we had a meeting somewhere else. That's clear to understand. Okay? So that's what happened. In the case of Colliho, there was a blockage on the road, and roads are blocked from time to time. It's how you deal with it. You could suffice it to say in the end, what we did was the minister at the time, I think Earl Williams, and a community leader in Solihull were at the forefront of engaging and discussing with the leaders of the Solihull community, and we resolved the matter. I would say, and I've been going through my mind as to whether during the time of the United Workers' Party, whether there was any use of tear gas to disperse crowds in Dominica. I don't know, I can't remember, but if somebody tells me, yes, there was one occasion, okay, I'll go ahead with that. But I'm concerned about the frequency with which tear gas is being used in Dominica to disperse people. You know, you had in Marigot, you had in Salisbury probably twice, you had one down at Canefield recently, you had one by Macmillan Service Station the other day, you had one by the Fort Young Hotel some time ago, you had another one just recently. It is of concern. It is of concern, and I think the authorities must look at what is happening, that we so frequently have to be using tear gas on the people of Dominica. Okay, so that is of concern to me. But another thing that they happened in that press conference, the minister, Mr. Blackmore, referred to the situation in 2017, which resulted in Mr. Thompson Fontaine, Edison James, and Lennox Linton being charged with incitement. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He referred to that in the press conference. Well, I'm going to say that as far as I'm aware, and not only aware, in the documents presented to us, and to me in particular, in that matter, 3 gazetted officers mentioned that the investigation which they're supposed to have done with respect to that incident in February 2017, that the investigations that were done, they had the government, the police had the input of the impacts people. I think it's called implementation committee on crime and security. Okay, that is a regional CARICOM body, and they were here for a month investigating with the police. Yet we saw no mention of any report from these impacts people in the documents of accusations and allegations that they presented to us. So I'm asking Mr. Blackmore and the government to make that report available. The report of the impacts, implementation on crime and security entity of CARICOM, make that document available to the public. I'm asking that be done, making a public request for that to be done. And finally, in terms of my input here, Matt, the DPP has the authority to null pros cases. It is my suggestion.
Okay.
Coming out of that press conference, with the DPP's involvement and the involvement of the Minister for National Security, involving what many people would conclude was a trial in the public. And then, for that matter to have to go before a jury, not just before a judge, then I'm pretty sure that somebody could argue credibly, convincingly, that you are going to have difficulty to find a jury whose minds, the members of whose minds are not prejudiced by what the minister and the DPP did. So the DPP might consider that it is appropriate for her to null pros those cases that are going to go before the court. Okay, because to me, there's a clear basis there. I may be wrong, but it is very, very likely that they have so prejudiced the minds of a potential jury that it will be difficult, if not impossible, for the people charged to have a fair trial.
Mr. James, thank you so much. It's 10:18. Mr. Edison James, a former Prime Minister of Dominica on the United Workers' Party. Thank you, sir. Somebody suggesting that we should call Mr. Charles Sovereign to tell us about protests and riots and what's acceptable and what is not. Maybe we'll find the time and attempt to do that. I haven't heard his voice in a long time. Boy, so many phone calls this morning. Again, Mr. James, thank you so much. Let's listen again. Another voice.
Good morning to you. Good morning to your listeners.
Morning to you.
I want to agree with Hillary Shillingford on his comment of the case being tried in public. But Matt Peltier, whenever a politician comes to discredit people who oppose his views and says they trying to score cheap political points, you know they're being dishonest. Because Blackmore on Friday wasn't at this conference as a capacity of a Minister of National Security. Blackmore was there as a capacity of a Labour Party operative, using government and using administrative positions such as the police chief and the DPP to publicly make a case. And it was clear by the fact that he brought up issues that occurred over 20 years ago in the past administration and called out people like Johnson Boston and the former Prime Minister of Dominica, Mr. James. And I'm saying to myself, if at the time when people demonstrated and Blackmore thought that the government of the day was wrong, why are they using these laws today? And it reminds me of the pretext for the 2000 general election when the Labour Party said the UWP was corrupt and got into office and found no evidence of corruption. And today they're leading the Caribbean in corruption with the current Prime Minister and himself asking about the Labour division. But more importantly, Matt Peltier, we had an example of the buggery laws in Dominica that was on the books. And it was challenged by our interested or party of interest, Miradam. And the law was deemed to be unconstitutional and infringing on people's rights. And I think what should happen in that case is the Riot Act of 1879 or wherever that was needs to be challenged in court for its constitutionality as it's applied today in connection with our constitution. And too many times we have circumstances or situations where there are public disputes in matters of constitutionality and law. And instead of the legal minds, the Bar Association and other organizations passing a motion to challenge the laws in court, we sit there and we publicly debate whether it's legal or illegal. What Blackmore and the DPP and the Police Commission had done was shameful. They should have known better. And I think the only option on the redress right now is that the actions and the constitutionality of the law has to be challenged in court so that the legislative branch of government can do its work and interpret and set precedents. So moving forward, we have clarity on the constitutionality of the law. Dominicans need to stop going around in circles, and I'm talking about Dominicans in general, the opposition and those in government, in the public disputing interpretations of laws without the input of the court. And when there is dispute, when there is legal dispute, when there is criminal dispute, when there is any dispute, the third branch of government, the legislature, has to, not the legislature, but the judiciary, has to come in and set clarity. If that doesn't happen, we will just be a bunch of people running our mouths year in, year out with getting nothing done and continuous dispute. And the last thing I want to say, the opposition need to realize the law has passed. The Labour Party is actively campaigning, and what happened on Friday was part of that campaign. And they need to get their butts on the ground and convince the people otherwise with their plans as to how they need to get rid of this government. Thank you, Matt.
A very interesting end there. We're going to take a break and we'll come back, Dominica. This is Q. This is the hot set.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
Share the love with KFC's Bucket Together. And when you share the love, win an all-expense 5-night trip for two to the St. Kitts Music Festival on Sunrise Airways.
For only $45, you get 6 pieces chicken spicy or original, 2 fries, 2 biscuits, and 2 corn.
Let's bucket together. Order now in store, at the drive-thru, and on delivery.
Offer ends May 23. Terms and conditions apply.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Need to upgrade your home? Get new arrival fin dining. Plus, buy more and save more on bedroom sets and get an additional 10% on credit purchases of any bedroom set. Want quality products that provide value at the best prices backed by full warranty? We've got you. Plus, shop today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Big news, Dominica! Druid Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Druid Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Market, where money don't count and money don't hurt you. A fresh market, it's a fine day.
We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. We're out of stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop.
Fresh market, never disappointed. Fresh market, something good.
Fantastic news from Eaststar Trading Limited, presenting yet another top quality, unbeatably priced product brought in especially for you. Just received world-class clear brand cantina in chunks and flakes, available in sunflower oil and brine. Prices start as low as $2.95 per can. Yes, you heard right. Clear brand can tuna, perfect for delicious dishes at home, in restaurants and hotels. Shop and save today on world-class clear brand tuna, available at Eaststar Trading Limited. Eaststar Trading Limited, working hard every day to make a difference for you.
Something good. Something good.
Good morning to you. On the telephone, it's already 10:24. On the line with me is Mr. Loftus Durant, who I heard Mr. Blackman made reference to at the news conference. I guess he'll clearly on that one too. Mr. Loftus Durant, good. Good morning to you. How are you doing, sir? How are you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Martin, special good morning to you, sir, and your many listeners.
What's up with you? You've been listening and paying attention to what's going on in Dominica. What's your thoughts?
Yes, Martin, as I just said, I've been listening and paying keen interest on what is happening in Dominica. and how things continue to unfold or unravel in the country.
But it appears, based on what Mr. Blackmore did say at the news conference, it's almost you avoided the protest action there on Friday the 19th. Is that factual, sir?
But just before I answer that question,
Yes.
posed with Blackmore situation, let me just state some facts as it pertains to protest action in Dominica.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Where yours truly have been standing up for my rights and other people's rights in the country for a very long time. I have been no alarming of my trumpet, as it were, no blowing of my trumpet, as it were. But I have been alongside other people, standing up and demanding our rights in this country for a very long time, leading protest actions in Dominica. So Blackmore's word through his mess conference, as some people call it, basically have nothing on me in terms of my record. It is there to show, and it is there to prove. On the 19th, Martha SPLT, I was not physically at the protest action at the time. Because why? About a week before, I was suffering with a flu. And that flu, as I said on some of my live programs that I had before, I really don't know where that flu came out. I'm not a person that normally have this lingering of flus, but for sure,
That one was different. I got it too. I imagine how you felt.
That one, it really had me down and out. And so I had all intentions to attend the protest action in person, but having taken into consideration what unfolded way early up, 1 o'clock thereabout, when I was about to make my way back to town to be with my people on the ground, I had to make that conscious and deliberate decision as to whether I wanted to subject myself, having suffered from the flu, or going through that flu-like situation, to subject myself to that barrage of usual tear gas that the police normally disperse whenever we assemble peacefully to protect and ask for rights.
And I know. Of course, I just want to move slightly off the subject here this morning. I got news this morning that that Mr. Choksey was arrested there in Belgium. Can you speak to us on that? I know you were speaking to some family member on that one there. Mr. Choksey has been arrested in Belgium. What can you tell us at this time?
Yeah, but permit me, please, just before I go to Choksey and the Belgium arrest situation.
Yes.
Let me just add my voice to the conversation that has been unfolding on your station this morning, where it is that Mr. James, Pastor Randy, and others have so eloquently alluded to the fact that the people in Dominica, we have, when we stand for rights or prepare to stand for rights, the constitution of the country, which I say it is basically relating it to some Christian term. It is like the Holy Bible, the Holy Grail, as it were. That is what a lot of us go by. The constitution of this country, where the Public Order Act is concerned, it gives us the right, the very fundamental right, to have public meetings without expressed permission, whether in written or oral, from the police, no matter their command. Now, let me just put something straight there for the record, Matt, because it is very good to enlighten the people as to some things that have been happening why we are where we are today. Remember in 2018, when we were tear-gassed by the Macmillan Sport, Castle Street Sport right there, standing up for the same issue for free, fair, and transparent general elections in Dominica. The police basically used their authority and tear-gassed the entire crowd. Mr. Valerie, what's his name? What's his name? Valerie what?
The former commissioner of police. That's what you're
yes,
talking about.
what's his first name? I love to call people by the name.
This is Mr. Valerie, yes. It's not coming to mind right now.
But Mr. Valerie second. Mr. Valerie basically called yours truly, like he did just before the 19th, all the way back to 2018 in December, and told me that what I was to be part of in December of 2018, that meeting, or however he termed it, was illegal. I said to Mr. Valerie then, Mr. Davidson Valerie, that's his name, Mr. Davidson Valerie then, that, Mr. Valerie, I know my right as a citizen of the country. I need no permission from you, whether written or oral, to have a public meeting in my country. These were my words to him back then. That meeting went on. We all saw what unfolded. That matter.
Yes, son. Just a quick reminder. It's Davidson Valerie. Davidson Valerie. Yes.
Davidson. Yes. I mentioned his name. That meeting went on. We all saw what unfolded, and it was ventilated in the court. The judge, Mr. Colin Williams, sided with the police. In that, in the court, there was this deliberate attempt by the lawyers of the state to put in there the word demonstration, protestation, illegal assembly, and they basically made a potpourri, a mess out of what the people stood for back then. And that is why it is so critical that the judiciary now, that's supposed to be the arbiter, the interpreter, the branch that's supposed to interpret the laws of any country, needs to get its spot on. And so in our case, although Judge Williams sided with the police, we are saying, and I've said, that the judge got it wrong, whereby he did not interpret what we were doing in conjunction with the law of the country on that day. And so that matter is before the appeals court now. And it is very, very...
Because I noticed, I'm happy you're saying that, because I noticed they're always referencing the case there, basically trying to indicate that you were wrong then, But as I told the minister, Mr. Blackmore, that case is before the appeals court.
And that is what I'm coming to, Matt, and thanks for pointing that out to them. It is very strange that 3 or 4, whoever were the mess conference, because I don't listen to these conferences. The barrage of lies comes through. I really don't listen, to tell you the plain truth. I listen after the fact because, based on what I want to get from there in terms of putting things factual on the table. It is very strange that the DPP, the AG, the whoever, the minister, the chief of, they were there and used that case so convincingly before the court to try to justify now their use of tear gas on the crowd on the 19th in a very unjustified way. But I am saying to the people of Dominica, I'm a very reasonable person in my opinion. If a meeting is being held in Dominica, we cannot control everybody at a meeting. You have 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, 12, whatever number of people you as the police think, is behaving anti the purpose of the expressed meeting. You have the right to admonish this person first, and if needs be, arrest this person. But you cannot want to paint a broad brush on the entire crowd of people that are there, and even going to the extent now of charging them with a law, an antiquated one at that, 1897, 100 and something years old, because you guys have been trying to find ways to clamp down, to suppress, to basically deny the people of Dominica our fundamental rights. And so, having had very great difficulty in charging and subsequently basically punishing people through the Public Order Act route, they took now the Riot Act route, and which speaks much more doom and gloom a situation for even future protestations in the country. And so that level of fear, that level of intimidation that these people they are on, these political actors, as Brian called them, they must know that the will of the people always and will always outnumber their political aspirations.
All right, Lofty. Let's turn our attention to this arrest that was made there sometime on the weekend. Can you talk to that or speak to that?
Well, Mr.
Choksey?
Mehul Shenobai Choksey is this Indian guy who have been arrested in Belgium, I'm being told. I had made contact this morning with at least 2 sources very close to him just to verify that information. And yes, he is in detention in Belgium. Went over there, I'm being told, for medical reasons, and through some warrant issued by India, the Indian government, then it was carried out in Belgium, and he's now in custody, waiting some extradition papers from India so that he could be extradited to India to face charges in his name, where it is alleged he scammed a bank, a national bank of India, some $2 billion or whatever it is. I keep saying that following that case, if Mr. Chenobai Choksey, whatever he's alleged of that crime, whether he is guilty, he should face the charge. I am not one to pander and pander up the situation. If he is guilty, let him have his way in court and let him face his day in court. If he is not, then he will be vindicated. Having said that, it does not negate the fact 2 wrongs don't make a right. And we well know there's documentation now in the Antigua court where that same Choksey has stated that our acting chief of police presently today and others basically tried to kidnap him from Antigua, brought him to Dominica, and was in the process of extraditing him to India. So as I said before, if Mr. Choksey is wrong, I will be the first one to say, yes, face your time. If he's not, then let the courts have its way in terms of their deliberations and decision. But as I said, what transpired with him in Dominica, on our soil in Dominica, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
True.
And so presently, our police in Dominica, they are supposed to be searching their consciences now, and even to the point, if needs be, as that case unfolds, because as that source told me, his lawyers are now actively dealing with it. And so I am hoping that that whole scenario that played out in Dominica will come to the fore. And if needs be, people will be called upon now to give testimony as to what went on in Dominica. And much more importantly, those who were involved, they will have to pay for whatever part they played in that brutal and inhuman treatment that he suffered in Dominica.
But do you know what he went? If he was so protected in Antigua, do you know what he went to Belgium for? Do you know, Loftus Durant? Do you know?
Yeah, I just said earlier that based on my information from close sources, he went to Belgium seeking medical
attention. I missed that. Okay, because he seemed to be very protected in Antigua, so he went, and of course, I think the sources there, basically found out he was there, and they made an appeal there to the Belgian government. So this is what happened there. Loftus Durant, I want to say thank you very much. We'll keep following that story there. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. And yes, Mr. James. Yes, Mr. James. I think Mr. Blackmore finally answered the question there as it relates to the issue of meetings in the public. Anywhere in the public without police permission. I want to repeat, anywhere in the public without police permission. So a public meeting can be held anywhere in the public without police permission. So I guess is the way it's stated, huh? So you don't apply for a protest action. A meeting, as admitted there by Mr. Blackmore, can be held anywhere in the public without police permission. Protest action is different. Once you're not hindering the rights of other individuals. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yeah, just quickly.
Sir.
Okay, I keep hearing people saying things, and I cringe when I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
We are an independent people because we moved from the monarchy and became a republic. What that meant was that all the powers and rights that the monarch had, the people said it now belongs to us. So there is no such thing as constitutional rights. The people have all the rights. They have all the powers. And the people said, we're going to put up a government that will govern us, not control us, but will govern us. And the people then said, there are certain rights that we have that the government cannot touch unless there's a strong government interest. So the government doesn't give us rights. Nor does the Constitution give us rights. The Constitution is given to control the government. And our rights remain. So the people have this right. People keep talking about the right to protest as if you only protest against the government. Every time I disagree with someone, I'm protesting. I may protest against anything I want to protest. It is not true that protest is only about you and the government. And so this idea that has been pushed, and I'm glad that Mr. Blackmore said we need to correct misinformation, but he's also pushing misinformation. The people have the right, and I think this is shown clearly in this Riot Act. The people would never write an act like the Riot Act to control them. The Riot Act, as we understand, was written by the monarchy to control the people. And so to pretend that the people wrote that law it makes no sense. People would not write a law to control them in the way that that law was written. So the law by itself, just by looking at it, it is inconsistent with the Constitution. And I'm disappointed in what the DPP said on Friday, disappointed in what Mr. Blackmore said on Friday, because they obviously have not taken their oath seriously, which means that their authority given by the people is to be true to the Constitution.
So are you basically saying that they were misinforming the public?
Yes, they were totally and completely misinforming the public, because even the way the DPP began talking about the highest treason or the highest law or violation apart from prison is a riot, but she doesn't define what a riot is. Obviously, she's not giving the public the information that is correct, and she's forgetting that she is an officer of the people. She's not an officer of the government.
Interesting. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, it's 10:48 in the morning. Let's see if we can take a few voice notes before we wrap it up here. Yes.
Matt, good morning to you.
Talk to me.
And good morning to all of your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
As I always say, Matt,
yeah,
those who are at home and those who are abroad. Matt, there's a scripture in the Bible that clearly states that when you hear a matter for the first time, How you hear it, if you are not careful, you're gonna take judgment and condemn somebody. But the scripture say when you hear the other side, in a other version, it said, when that person is cross-examined, you will never, for 1 minute believe what you're hearing in the cross-examination, you would have heard that. Matt, when these people had the press conference, somebody call it press commerce, I wouldn't call it so much. They say it's a press conference, I'm saying it's a press conference. But my real and truly, since I know these guys are lying too many times, I've lied too many times, Matt, I don't have time to listen to them. But I was thinking that maybe they will say, well, we arrested 25 people already, and we're coming to a place to say, you know what, let's leave it alone. We apologize to the people. So I was listening keenly to see if I would hear that. But Matt, that wasn't true. When these guys begin to talk about Edison James, what he did, Matt, I listened to Mr. Edison James there this morning. Matt, everything these people say and do is deception, Matt. Matt, I asked you this question before. If you have your wife and your wife constantly telling you lies, can you trust her? If you have your son, your daughter, and they're constantly telling you lies, when you hear something about them, and they tell you it's not so, can you trust them? No, man. This is how these people put their position, the position these people have put themselves in Dominica, with most Dominicans that have some good sense of thinking, they are telling too many lies. So when they come to say something, everybody have an idea, it is a lie. So, Matt, why I really send this voice note, right? I say all this to see. I am encouraging United Workers' Party, those people who got arrested, people like myself that contributing to the ills and the criminality that go into Dominica, that are contributing to free the people. Matt, let's come together and let's have a press conference. Let's get it on DBS radio. Let's get it on Carry FM. And let the world hear exactly what these people were saying. They were deceiving people with lies. These people, I don't know how to call them again. They are telling so many lies, Matt. I would have said to people, don't listen to them, because it does not make any sense if somebody is constantly telling you lies to listen to them. Thank you for the opportunity, Matt.
I know some of you wouldn't believe me, but if a lie asked me good friend Mackie, it was a big lying competition to see who they will crown as lying champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a feel about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days, he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on liar did lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named T-Bone, come from some village there in Tobago. He said his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fisherman while they defeat him, man. He had to tie on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Pussy, thank you, Java. You're going to heaven as soon as you die. Why, sir? Check it out. Liar the lion, he laughed till he sweat. He said, Mr. Depot, ain't say nothing yet. If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit this spot. I was hoping you did believe it or not. The fish your father sport. The youth was great, but it's them small fish my father just used to bait. Lion went ahead on point in the show, completely eliminated Mr. Depot. The next man to beat was really outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion, the Lion agreed. Say anything you think is alright with me. He outrageous, nice strong, let me meet head on. And when we done
On the telephone, hello, good morning to you, yes? Uh-huh.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you. Morning.
Good morning to the people of Dominica at home and abroad. This is the boots on the ground. Matt, I called to make a few points and I would like you to allow me, please. Matt,
I'm here.
there are the churches that control the scripture and they control the method that people go about praying and using the word of God, misinterpreting and interpreting. There's the churches and organizations that direct you, how you go about, and when you make a mistake to correct you.
Yep.
But there was some time in the past when some of our priests in Dominica was sent to the highest church organization to call cases on matters that their names were involved in. And Matt, a decision was handed down from those top churches or those top leaders as to how they go about controlling the words of the Bible and the work that they do in terms of coming to people and praying for them. Matt, there is an institution that organizes the law of Dominica like a church. And that institution it has the court, it has the judiciary, it has the public. And Matt, there is a court for the Constitution that deals with everything above that you don't understand about the laws of the country. And I'm listening, Matt. I'm listening to the people talking today, those that are meeting and those that bring in the cases forward, including the DPP. Because the matter that was discussed on Friday, I think it is confusing a lot of Dominicans. And not only Dominicans, because I was speaking to some foreigners that was asking me questions in relation to that interview that they had on Friday. So I was trying to explain. But Matt, my point I want to make is our matter that surrounds what happened on the 19th and the rights of the people, what they can and cannot do. Last ago, I just heard a man that I really wanted to hear, the man that speaks about the Constitution, because it seems as if that lawyer understands, reads, study the Constitution. But he goes further than that, because what he explaining to the people is their rights that have been intrigued on, and there's no two ways about it. So when you come and say, my friend, Mr. Blackmore just admitted that the people have rights. My brother, when I speak, I say before that the man that educates me on my rights is the past president of Dominica, Charles Savre. And just what I am saying is what is happening. When people intrude on your right, you need to get the highest court and the laws that cover your rights to defend you. So right now, I think the lawyers need to bring our case forward to the Constitutional Court, the court that deals with constitution clarity. Because our people in Dominica need to understand what are their rights, in particularly your freedom of expression, the freedom of movement, the freedom of association. Because these are the rights that have been trampled on us by the police, and they know it. But what they're doing is they know the people is not educated, and they bamboozle the people with what they want. So I would like the lawyers to take a page from that gentleman that just speak there, the constitution lawyer, and let's see how we can get that thing, either to the CCJ or to let us get a forum that can talk to us about the Constitution and how much rights you have under the Constitution, because we need to lead our people correct, and the children that come in for tomorrow, they need to know. So we need to put it in the schools. So that is my input, Matt. Boots on the ground, and let's keep fighting.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. 449-3095-96. It's already 10:55. A few more minutes before we wrap it up. Hello, yes?
Matt, I'd just like to ask Mr. Skerritt, the Mantira. He said one time that when he was in opposition, there used to be the schools. I don't know what period that was. But anyway, leaving that aside, I want to ask Mr. Skerritt if he was ever at a protest or a demonstration. I would like to know, because if he can admit that, yes, he was, he should turn himself in. He should go and turn himself in because he broke the law. But, I really don't know if he was ever at one. But if he was, he should take the notion and go turn himself into the police and tell him he was at a demonstration and it is something illegal. Thank you, man.
All right, good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. We're going to be wrapping it up here in a while. Yes, time is of the essence at this time. We're going to wrap up with this song, Lord Nelson. Back this afternoon here on the Talk on the Block. Stick around. Very interesting program. This Mr. Blackmore is so keen on moral unrighteousness. Can he please ask him if it's legal for a minister to buy? all you not easy now. I'll leave that question. I'll ask him that question personally, huh? So pa easy.
I feel about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days. He boiled down and leave just 3. I had me iron.
I'll ask the second question. Is it legal for a husband or boyfriend to gather stones or to what? Some dump down the said minister when he runs into him? Oh, you're concerned citizen. Oh, pa easy.
And swing back to land to get it, brother Eric, to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teach your pussy.
Just an announcement there. Mr. Danny Luga is saying I was informed by a senior officer that the reconfirmation has not begun, huh? So what's going on there is what? Illegal? Because I'm hearing a lot of people are even maybe in St. Martin registering voters.
Is there nothing yet? If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind now.
Maybe we'll talk to Danny, who has done some research on that one, huh?
You just hit this button.
Just to enlighten you based on the information received there from a senior officer that the reconfirmation has not begun just yet, okay? I'll try to get Danny for the 1 o'clock show before we move on.
The next man to beat will be outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie for the judges.
Bike riders, I know there's a special activity taking place there with the funeral of this young man. The young lawyer that was given a special sent off by the court. Wear your helmets in his honor, okay? There is a funeral service taking place sometime later. Young man been buried today, Pat Edgar Henry, who passed on some weeks ago.
And don't even measure. I'm talking about suit. They don't correct.
There was a special ceremony taking place at the High Court in his honor this morning. To the family and friends, I say Our deepest sympathies. It was just last year on October 25th, 2023. It was called to the bar.
The corner where the fella pass and he go make a suit. That is Taylor, you hear like King Liar. Teach your post this day if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
See you around. So our deepest sympathies to the Henry family.
Night and day are catching hell. People think are doing well just because I sing a few calypso. But that is my misery. Calypso don't make money, but most of them don't know that I have my axe to grind, just like any other man, existing in poverty and this giant ghetto land. But I intend to hang on. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice. I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me. No way. They go have to beat me. They go have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land. I was born in this land. Nobody gonna run me from where me come from.